Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Zimmerman. It's the end of an era for many in the Oshkosh Area School District as the community prepares to say goodbye to two elementary schools, Washington and Merrill, closing in just a few weeks. Both buildings contain a lot of memories, and today former students were given a chance to conduct a final walkthrough. In a First Alert update, Jamal James shares some of the emotion being felt.
It was a chance for one last look as former teachers, staff, and members of the Oshkosh community were given the opportunity to participate in a farewell tour of both Merrill and Washington Elementary.
It kind of comes rushing back, and it's just a nice memory to have.
David Nestler was among those who participated and felt the history of Washington Elementary and walked through the hallways with his longtime friend, Heather Hubers.
It's a little bit heartbreaking, kind of an end of an era, but knowing it's for the best because it is an older school is okay.
For students enrolled today, including Webster Stanley Elementary, they'll begin attending their brand new school coming this fall. I'm here at the location of where Webster Stanley Elementary used to be, but as you can see, construction is already going on behind me for the brand new Menominee Elementary School. This is all part of their first phase in the district's four-phase consolidation plan.
When we look at some of our smaller elementary schools, Washington is an example of that. We're looking at consolidating services. So as we again have fewer students in the system, also want to make sure that we're efficient and modernizing our buildings.
For those here at Washington Elementary, the afternoon was also a chance to share memories with old friends.
One of my friends moved away. She was the new girl from an Army family as well when we were here the same year. So we bonded. So I'm looking for pictures of her too, because unfortunately she lives like 6 hours away now, so she couldn't get here. So I'm trying to capture some of those memories for her.
Hubers also found a photo of Nestler coming back to Washington to speak with students after winning a big game.
That was actually taken shortly after Oshkosh North High School's 2000 state championship game. And so the students from the football team who went here to Washington were invited to come back and read stories to some of the younger classmates.
Nestler said he remembers using this moment to teach how teamwork and perseverance can create a championship team no matter where you come from. Reporting in Oshkosh, Jamal James, Action 2 News.